Hello everyone, good morning. So today I am here to just talk about a very important topic, which we are experiencing in our AI industry, and not just big companies, be and small companies. All the companies are growing, and they're trying to adopt as many AI practices, best practices, tools, and methodologies into their organization to grow. So this is an important thing to just talk about. So we just want to see, with the growing complexity of managing AI, while your organization is scaling. So you can see, we started with, small teams, small data sets, more like experimentation phase, and we were not doing, too much production ready things. I'm talking about, let's say, 5 to 10 years ago. But now the complexity is increasing. You're having more types of assets introduced to your team, more number of tools, data sets, types. There are different types of skill sets which is coming into your team. So the complexity is growing, and it has to grow, and it will grow with a faster pace when the organizations have really figured out that AI is really useful for them, and it has started impacting their top line by introducing new features and new services, and also bottom line by optimizing by use of the data that they have. So with growing AI in your organization, why you want to lose out on being early adopters of AIMS, which is AI management system. So you just want to see, and try to educate you on what kind of things are there in a AIMS system and why you need it now. Because we just want to tame that, the growing complexity as soon as possible. So if you see, why it is the right time to adopt a management system, so, and I will talk about this in series of multiple videos, and we'll focus on right now, what's the right time for it. It's very clear, the writing is on the wall that AI has to grow. It has found its niche. It's no longer a small cost department where bunch of researchers are trying to figure out new thing. It has become a main part of organization. Organization have, I mean, if you see, the CDO positions, Chief Data Science Officer is coming up in all major organizations. And even small companies are making sure that at least they have one member who is responsible for all the data and AI related activities. So it has become a part of organization. So it has to grow. So as Tech Navio, it has to increase to USD 68 billion at a CAGR of 24%, which is a very high growth rate, and it is one of the fastest growing industry. So what essentially that means, that McKinsey did a report sometime back in 2021, December they released. They say 57% of the respondents, which is globally done survey in emerging economies, they adopt. AI has increased by 45% in 2020, which essentially means now companies have realized that they have to really do AI, and they have started adopting and making sure that they make best use of the data that they have collected, all the tools and cloud improvements that have been done. So this is definitely growing. So what higher adoption really mean to the AI, for your company? Even it's really, you're gonna solve a lot more use cases now. you know you will be looking at a lot of new data sets, old data set, blending data sets. So you are definitely getting into a zone where you are dealing with more type of data, volume of data, and variety of data. You're trying to make your own way of a big data ecosystem for yourself. You will have to hire people. That's increasing headcount. So the people will increase, and even the skill sets, it's not like one person doing everything. You would need some visualization experts, you would need some data scientists, you will need engineers, you will need DevOps people. So there is a whole complexity gamut of things which work out for one successful use case. You are going to buy more tools and platforms. So it's almost impossible in my head that there would be one tool or platform which will solve all your problems. Different team members would require different toolkits and tool sets to do the job. Some would be on cloud, some would be offline, some would be open source, some would be proprietary. And this is going to increase. It's just not about Jupyter Lab, which is one of the popular thing where you can do everything. You will have a lot of more tools and platforms which will be introduced to your teams. And also, if you really want to scale, you have to standardize large part of the process. Otherwise, every day will bring new process, new terms, and it will become very difficult to scale. So you have to start figuring out how to standardize the whole process, who will build it, who will be accountable for it, how you will manage this thing. So how you really go about doing it, I think the time has gone where we can manage it with some teams or some, Excel workbooks. You really need to jump into a properly structured system, and what that system is or what the system would be, that's what, where the whole AIMS, AI management systems comes into play. And an important thing to think about, which I told in the previous slide as well, again, why you want to lose out on being an early adopter of a system and which can help you scale and make your strategy, very less dependent upon the clouds, the tool, the people, and bring that continuity in your system. So I just want to leave with you, a higher level framework. I will talk in detail about all these different points in my different videos. But essentially, what is Probyto AI management system? So we have built this management system based on our collective understanding of the industry and all the pressing problems that the industry is facing, and how to really manage all these problems. So essentially, a AI management system, has to do four key jobs for you. One is consolidation. So you really need to know, which dashboards or which models or which APIs, who developed and where they are. You just need to consolidate all your efforts, and which team is building. It might happen that in the same organization, different verticals are doing too many things, right? And you might have 40 to 50% overlap of the things. So you just need to consolidate things in one place to have a clear view as an organization, where you are heading towards in terms of AI. You need to centralize as well. Now, all this information, if becomes centralized, it becomes accessible to your organization, and the discoverability of the assets grow. And obviously, this have a straight benefit in you reducing your cost and making your turnaround very fast uh, on all your AI efforts. Communication is very important. Like, you just want to make sure that communication is a bit centralized so that each one is connected to each one, in terms of um, what you really are trying to do and who is trying to do them. So this communication has to step up there, and then you have to calibrate. So I think if you measure and record all those things in one place, then you can calibrate and make sure that you are making the best efforts next time. So these four jobs has to be done by a AIMS system. And just to give you an example, AIMS system is not really trying to restrict you to use a specific tool, service, or platform, but it's trying to maintain a big meta store of the information to make sure that your team does what it has to do in their choice of tools and places, while your organization maintain the central information in one place so that they can keep growing and keep scaling. So it could be as simple as, you might have four different visualization software by four different teams within your company. Somebody's in ClickView, somebody's in Tableau, somebody's on open source. But essentially, do you have a centralized place where you really know who is building what for which business use case, and how much resources are spent on that? And when you combine all this information together, you are able to come back to the business and say, hey, we did this much with this much cost and things, and this is what it has collectively come to a point where this is a value we are making. So essentially, this AIMS systems will make things more ROI driven as well. So I will talk about different aspects of it, and also show you the Probyto AIMS system and how we do it, and how we are trying to lead this wave in the industry to make sure people understand need and requirement of it. Meantime, if you just want to go and try out our demo, you can go and try it out demo, or I will leave my calendar link in the post. So if you want to discuss and see more, we can talk one to one and try to show your demo and see if we can solve any of your problems that you might be facing. Thank you very much for listening. I will be keep posting videos over a period of time, and hope some of these will help you scale AI in your organization. So yeah, looking forward to talk to you. Thank you.